Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Townhall dated September 24th. And I've talked in a bunch of videos before about the coming competency crisis, in terms of people being put into roles that they are not qualified to do. Go see what's happening in the airline industry and tell me if you really feel safe flying. But this article goes into something that's probably a lot more, pertinent to regular everyday people. Because a shocking study exposes what's really being taught in top medical schools. So this is going to be fun. It says healthcare watchdog group Do No Harm has released a report exposing left-wing activism's takeover of medical academia, specifically how medical schools are shortchanging rigorous training in science for the political indoctrination of future doctors. Because that's what I need when I go see a doctor. It's not, fix me, doctor, there's something wrong. It's, I need to know, because I'm Jewish, are you going to treat me right? Or something like that. Okay, so it says this research was conducted by searching for keywords that are emblematic of the DEI agenda, such as diversity, racism, and identity, and comparing them to the appearances of traditional terminology used in medical education like physiology, anatomy, and Hippocratic. Do No Harm found that the frequency of the DEI jargon far exceeded the usage of scholarly scientific terms, signifying that medical school courses focus more on ideological issues than they do on foundational ones. This diversity appeared more frequently than chemistry. Obesity, one of the country's most serious health challenges, was mentioned less often than every one of the DEI buzzwords, including justice. The word equity cropped up more than 3 times as often as obesity. Yes, because those are the things that are important. As someone who has dealt with obesity, in fact, I think I've mentioned this, had gastric bypass surgery, 6 years ago? A little more than 6 years ago. I can say something about that, and I'm pretty sure that when I went into the doctor, if he wasn't doing like a whole, here's how we're going to fix you, Jason. And he started talking about equity and, this is how we're going to, it's going to be some sort of social justice thing. I would have looked at him and been like, you can't do the job. Why am I here? So let's keep going. So basic medical research terms hardly appeared in the course catalogs at all. Such socio-political phrases like inclusive inclusion appeared almost 10 times as often as the research term randomized, and almost 18 times as often as placebo. And here's an embedded tweet that you can certainly go ahead and click on. Looks like this person was doing some serious research about all this, but we're going to skip past that. It says medical school coursework appears to be much more concerned with conveying ideological goals to future doctors than with teaching them how to interpret, let alone conduct, scientific research, Do No Harm concluded. It's going to be a fun next few decades, isn't it, with medical stuff. You're going to have doctors that you probably know more than them, to be perfectly honest. Okay, they're going to be more concerned with your skin color or what you identify as than with actually fixing you. Can't wait. As among the highest-ranked institutions Do No Harm studied, 7 had more politicized than scientific terms printed in their course catalogs. Harvard, UPenn, Stanford, Vanderbilt, the Econ School of Medicine, I don't know what that is, Baylor, and Emory. I've heard of all the other places. As Do No Harm discovered that this divisive ideology is infused into introductory classes covering basic topics. For example, here we go. Here's what econ is. At the Econ School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, I think that's in New York. I could be totally wrong. By all means, correct me if I'm wrong. This introduction to anesthesiology is described as a core component of the Human Rights and Social Justice Scholars, or HRSJ, program for first-year medical students, and is intended to provide students with a space for building critical thinking and community around social justice work. And this next sentence down here is pretty much what I was about to say. It says, let's also hope they learn how to administer anesthesia, quipped the author of the report, Jay Green. That was the guy from the embedded tweets above, a senior research fellow in the Heritage Foundation Center for Education Policy. Yes, because when I go to the doctors, I'm more concerned with, or I'm not as concerned with them putting me to sleep for a major surgery than I am with them like telling me how they're going to do social justice work in their community. Okay. So at Harvard Medical School, a course on integrated human pathophysiology focuses on key concepts in normal physiology and pathophysiology of the kidney, endocrine and reproductive endocrine systems. However, content that explores health equity and climate change is also integrated. What do either one of those things have to do with just, again, fixing people? The first part of that sentence is totally fine, but the second part that explores health equity and climate change is also integrated. And I'll probably say hi to that wiki note. It's going to pop up on here because of the magic words of climate change. Meanwhile, Stanford offers a course called Global Leaders and Innovators in Human and Planetary Health, Sustainable Societies Lab, that centers on environmental sustainability as well as social and environmental justice and equality. The Baylor College of Medicine's class on human rights and medicine covers immigration reform, gender issues, cross-cultural considerations, and issues of distributive justice affected by militarization in society. What the hell does this have? Like, can our doctors learn, or potential doctors learn about actual medicine, or just no? And I'm guessing the answer from these places is just nope. It says the findings confirm that social and political issues have begun to meaningfully crowd out traditional medical training in American medical schools, Do No Harm study summary says. This is not an isolated development in a handful of atypical medical schools, but a broad change that is affecting the future of medical practice across the country. And there's going to be problems, as I said. It says lives are on the line. Exactly, the summary stresses. This is why documenting the extent to which medical education has become politicized is critically important. Yes, there's probably going to end up being what I can only describe as an absolute crap ton of lawsuits if people start doing this, because you're going to have incompetent doctors doing bad things. This Do No Harm is an advocacy organization representing physicians, nurses, medical students, patients, and policymakers nationwide who want to keep identity politics out of medical education, research, and clinical practice. So a good organization. So yeah, as I've said, I've spoken many a time about the coming competency crisis. Things are going to get real bad. So it's just another one of the things to, another log to throw into the fire. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.